welcome to Mainland Television's weekly regional news roundup. I'm Graham O'Brien, and the news this week: Sister City delegation tours Nelson, iconic Mapua Cafe closure draws outcry, Nelson police morale hits all-time low, and more. A new workplace survey within Nelson Police is suggesting that morale has taken a major dive, with more staff feeling disengaged, uninspired and underpaid. These results show Nelson-based police have taken a hit in every aspect of job satisfaction in the year to February, falling below most national averages. Across the Tasman district, fewer police felt inspired to go the extra mile in their jobs. Less than a third of staff felt that their views were valued, and 63.5% of staff did not think communication was open and honest. Less than half of the 264 staff surveyed across the district did not feel that quality was a priority. Overall job satisfaction dropped from 82.2% in 2014 to 58.1% this year. Management was identified as the main thing that needed changing in the Tasman district to make police a great place to work, followed by resources, communication and pay levels. There have been major changes in the region's police management in the past year, with former Tasman District Commander Superintendent Richard Chambers being promoted and moved to Auckland and replaced by Superintendent Karen Malthus. Meanwhile, in recent news, the West Coast top police officer and two of his senior sergeants have launched a $1.5 million defamation lawsuit against Superintendent Malthus last week, claiming that comments she had made to local media portrayed them as incompetent and having failed in their duties. Former Nelson Bays Area Commander Steve Greeley also departed the region in February, taking a job as National Road Policing Manager in Wellington. That vacancy has not yet been filled. However, since the report findings, acting Nelson Bays Area Commander Inspector Matthew Arnold Kelly said the leadership team was working with staff to improve working conditions. Hamish's Cafe on Mapua Wharf seems set to close amongst much controversy. Last week we spoke to owner of the business, Adele Caltro, who had made the decision based on financial considerations. However, since our story aired, council has come under flack from members in the community about the business's demise. So Chrissy Small caught up with Tasman District Councillor Brian Ensor at the wharf this week to get council's side of the story regarding the new development on the wharf and the closure of Hamish's Cafe.
Brian Ensor, you're a TDC councillor and you had a lot to do with Mapua, of course, and Mapua Wharf. Now, I believe some in council are a bit concerned about our story on Hamish's putting the TDC in a bad light.
Yes, I think it's just really good to be here and to give the council side of the story.
Yep. Now, Brian, okay, we know that Hamish is closing. That's the decision that Adele has made. It's not something that she's actually been told to do, but her reasons for doing it for her are valid. What does council think about that?
Yes, I think it's always unfortunate when you get someone that's been in business in an area for a long period of time, very popular. Adele's a lovely person, and the community really enjoy coming down here, especially the families and the young children. So yes, I suppose it's the end of an era, but when one door closes, another opens, and someone else will see potential to hopefully do a similar thing and to be able to provide for the families that come down here. Now,
do you think council offered a fair package to Adele to stay on?
Look, I think council's worked with Adele for the last 2 years. And it started when the council bought the Golden Bear building, which was in 2013. At that time, the two tenants in that building, Adele's, Hamish's and Cool Change, had very insecure leases. The council worked hard to provide a short-term lease for both those businesses, and particularly for Hamish's, with the offer then that when we built a new building at the aquarium site, that Hamish's would be able to relocate there.
Did she have any input into the design of the new building?
The design actually went to the Urban Design Panel, which is a group of architects that come in from all over the place, and people have the opportunity to present the design and that group will then look at it and suggest any changes that they may think may work in with that particular environment that the building's going into.
Are they the same group that had a look at the toilet block down here?
No, I don't think that went to the urban design panel.
Okay.
And that of course is a building that's really well known. It's been quite controversial. Some people love it, others hate it.
I always look at it as it's got a mai as part of a mai with those little slits in it that someone could be sitting
Right.
in there. We've got the situation now, and of course, you know, it looks like that it's been a very hard place to be, standing there trying to negotiate the terms of tenancy for the new building. And I don't believe that's just in the case of Hamish's. You've got other people who are interested in renting parts of that new building.
Yes, there are 7 businesses going into that new building. There are 6 others on the waiting list. So people recognise that it's a really popular area. The potential, I think, is quite big. With the advent of the cycleway coming through here, that's only just getting going, and I think the numbers that are going to come through this area are going to increase quite dramatically. In fact, last year, I gather from the Cycle Trust that numbers increased 25%.
What kind of businesses are we going to see here that you're looking at putting in place of where our aquarium once was?
Well, obviously, we want to have a variety. We want to cater for families as well. It's a family orientated area. So I think there's a furniture shop, there's a cafe that's going in, quite similar. I think will offer similar things to the area that Hamish's did in terms of ice creams, that side of things. There's a cycle hire place. There's another business which is going to have local produce. 1 or 2 others which I can't quite remember at the moment. But what we want to do is try and get some variety and some interesting stuff for people when they come here.
Are you going to try and keep the character that exists down here going?
Yes, that's the flavour, and I think that's right through the whole Mapua community. We don't want to lose that sort of village, slightly laid back sort of feel that people really enjoy when they come to Mapua, not only the wharf area but the rest of Mapua as well. We want to see a pleasant area, not an intimidating area from the alcohol side of things, and that people can come down here and enjoy a drink, or they can bring their family here and have fish and chips and perhaps an ice cream, sit on the wharf, that sort of thing.
Now, Brian, we look over here at Hamish's and we see a little cafe full of character. Now, when that goes, we're going to look over there and see a bar. Is that something people really want to see on the wharf?
Different people have different views, and the Golden Bear is very popular. A lot of people come to the wharf area to come to the Golden Bear, and they provide at certain times of the year and certain days of the week music, that sort of thing, which I think probably draws a lot of people into the area, and everyone and businesses benefit from that. I think that the Golden Bear premises will be well controlled. The area, the outside seating areas, they'll have a Pacific area, and that's where people will be expected to drink.
It's been a playground for many children, mine included, over the decades. Is that going to be appropriate beside the Golden Bear bar?
Well, I mean, that's been going on for quite a number of years now, and families still come here and eat their fish and chips. The kids play around the Nio tree. We are looking at enhancing that area and increasing the green space there. But don't forget also that we've got the waterfront park, which is the area over here, where the toilet block is that you were talking about. And the community have really got into gear in the last sort of 6 months or so in terms of wanting to provide some more exciting things going on the waterfront park, particularly for families, where they can have play areas. They want to put some play areas in there. They want to put a barbecue there so people can come and have picnics. The tender is just going through the council's tender committee this week, and a decision will be made as to who gets the job of building. That will be known at the end of this week. Building is due to start the 1st of August, and it's around about a 3-month build, and so it should be completed by the end of October. Still one premise, one site still to be negotiated, and I gather that process is going on now.
Is that Hamish's? What was Hamish's?
That is. And so that's quite exciting. I think everyone's exciting to get that deal
Okay, I'm just going back to where you were saying there was going to be a cafe going in there. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, I see. So you are keeping that space
Yes.
particularly for a cafe?
Well, what we wanted to is have a business in there that was going to cater for the families and young children, particularly being able to supply ice creams, that sort of thing.
What about existing premises that we have here now? I know that we've got places like the historic Wharf Museum and the Boat Club.
Yes.
Are they part of the future vision for this area? Are they going to stay?
Oh, look, the Boat Club is very much part of this Wharf Precinct area. They have really been the entity that was responsible for initially the wharf being retained. They continue to do a lot of maintenance on it. So, no, it's very much part of this area. And, of course, people love it. They come and fish off the wharf, dive off the wharf, and of course, the boats just moored out. And you know, boats obviously can come in and moor alongside the wharf as well.
Brian Ensor, look, thanks for your time today. Of course, we're all sad that Hamish's is going. I guess council are a bit too.
Yes, we are, and you know, we just wish Adele and Bruce all the best for the future.
Is there any truth to the fact that, you know, she was looking at an increase in rent in the new premises?
Yes, I think there was an increase in rent. I think you've got to remember that site was probably the prime site of the whole development. It is a commercial development for the council, and if it didn't stack up commercially, we wouldn't have built it. Also, I think the fact that there are 6, the premises have all been filled, and there are 6 on the waiting list, means that, you know, the rent levels aren't pricing people out of the market.
Chrissy also caught up with some early bird locals at the wharf to find out their thoughts.
We often buy ice creams for the little grandchildren.
So if another business opens that's not Hamish's, will that be okay?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You can always buy ice creams.
Okay. Yeah, but you know, it's, if council are looking at putting a new business, something similar in the new building that they're building over where the aquarium was, so that you're happy with that?
Yeah, Mapua seems to be developing, so with all the extra building going on, there'll be more room for businesses.
Right.
But it is sad that Hamish's is closing because that was a good little business. It was always seemed to be busy.
Oh, very much so in the summer period.
Yeah.
If another cafe opens, is that going to be enough for the young ones down here? I mean, we've got the recreational fishing going on here, and we've got and we've got, you know, the little ferry to take people across to the beach over there and whatnot. But is there enough going to be happening for businesses? Like, are the businesses going to be focused on the young, or do you think it'll get a bit more trendy?
Where is the money? The money's from the oldies.
Right.
So you'll get the coffees and the restaurants and the cafeterias and probably the takeaways.
And the brewery.
And the brewery, definitely the brewery, but you got Sprig and Ferns just opened.
Do you think we've got enough pubs though in this region? I mean, we've closed the one on the corner.
More than enough for me.
Yeah. Now, shall I ask this young consumer here?
Yes.
What do you think about closing Hamish's down? Does that make you sad?
Because I like the ice creams.
Right. Are they nice in there? Yeah. Do you like looking at Hamish's? It's a funky wee cafe, isn't it? So what would you like to say to council if they let another cafe open? What would you like to see for children down here?
The ice cream cafe.
It is a bit sad that Adele's going from Hamish's there, but quite understandably. I know what it was like when I first came here, first started a business, smoked fish business in 1989, and after 5 years of that, it certainly had changed here, and it just keeps changing.
Is that because the population is growing here?
Population, a lot of it's to do with council attitude, I think.
Okay.
I don't think the council should really be involved in building a new building there. If they've got that much money, they're charging the ratepayer too much, I'd say. They are not in the business of property management or building.
Okay.
They're supposed to be property management.
But they do own the land.
They do own the land. That's right. They got the land for nothing. Let's face it. That came from the Harbour Board. So the same as all this complex here. And it's only local people with initiative that actually have kept the whole thing going as far as I'm concerned.
Right, and of course the boat club was part of that.
Boat Club has been right here from day one. It was our mission to keep this wharf available for everybody to use, which seems to be working really well. And, you know, there's lots of people appreciate this wharf.
So what's your opinion about the Golden Bear expanding into that particular part of the complex, especially when we've got the lovely gardens where lots of kids go and picnic and all that kind of thing? Do you think that's going to work?
Don't know. I really don't know. But see, once again, that whole building thing was a part of the cock-up from TDC. Property management didn't really know what they were up to, and it's caused a lot of friction. It's caused friction within the community, between the Golden Bear and between Hamish's. It's a bit sad, but is it progress?
Yeah. Well, look, I spoke to Jim many years ago when it was looking like he needed to expand, and he took that lease on and did a lot of financial renovation to that building at a great cost, under the understanding that he was going to take that part of the building on. So it's kind of, you know, the previous landlord didn't deal with things very well, did he?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And because of the building being partially on TDC land, there's a problem there too. You know, too many cooks. Too many cooks.
Too many cooks. Yeah. So what would you like to see happen down here at the wharf? What's your vision? I mean, council have got a vision. They've got this new plan and design there and all kinds of businesses going in there. What do you think the wharf really needs?
The wharf's a good spot as it is. I think you've got to be a little bit careful about commercialism, because you could ask just about any of these businesses here now, this time of the year, how you doing? And they're saying, well, I don't know whether I can pay my rent this week. So, you know, it is only a seasonal town. People have got to stand together, and I still don't believe the council should be developing buildings. They will get a better return if they lease the land out. They've got a guaranteed return. They haven't got a guaranteed return with buildings, because somebody goes in there, struggles for 6 months, goes bust. Then there's a big fight for the council to get money from them. Can't get money blood out of a stone.
Yeah. Well, as you say, this is a seasonal area, so I guess, you know, that's something that Adele had to consider before taking on a mortgage to refit a whole new shop for a higher rent, I guess.
That's the one. That is for sure. That is for sure. And then even if she did go into the new building, apparently she's got to fit it out. And then if she fits it out and decides to sell it, and then the next people she sells it to can't afford to pay the rent, Adele's stuck with the rent. How fair is that?
Thanks very much.
We hope to bring you a response from Tasman District Council Commercial Manager Jean Cooper, who was invited but was unavailable for comment, but has a list of questions we would like answered. The Tasman Street upgrade has caused residents a bit of inconvenience over the last 5 months, but for Brook Street store owner Martin Meads, it has meant more than just a hassle. I spoke to Martin about the roadworks and the impact it has had on his business. Martin, thanks for taking a few minutes of your time to talk to us about this issue. The roadworks have been going on for more than 5 months now. How do you feel they've impacted you and your business?
Oh, they've impacted massively. Naturally, my business, and like others of my size around the whole town, rely heavily on passing traffic, parking and all that sort of things, and also, especially in my case, the direction of the traffic. Well, since they turned it around and made it one way from the beginning of March or end of February, whenever it started again, the flow's only been one way, and initially it was the wrong way, and I went down quickly.
Yeah. And do you feel there was adequate consultation about the traffic flow and stuff to minimise the impact on you and the residents around here?
No, as per usual, and I'm sure most Nelsonians agree here, there's never contact, there's never consultation. They come along with a fixed idea and that's it. They've got the degrees, they've got the expertise. Well, in this case here, the degrees and the expertise have made a right mess. I'm sorry, they've not been a good gel. All they had to do was talk to the businesses, and I'm not talking about just the shop business, I'm talking about people who work from home, power, they need the power all the time, people like that. They've just gone in with the big graders, and from day one they made a one-way system. Well, a one-way system, as you know, if you put a shop on a one-way system, you've lost 50% of your traffic straight away. And unfortunately, but my biggest people are the ones coming home at night time, not the ones going to work and to school and to wherever. They do it on the way home. And they just went up for some reason known to themselves, decided to make the one way the wrong way. And immediately lost people from the beginning of March onwards. And when you take people out of their habits and teach them a new habit, in other words, a different direction, they're hard to get back.
And now have you, after it's been a bit more publicised, have you had a bit more contact with council now? Are you a bit happier about what's happening?
Well, the only consultation physically I've had is with the third engineer, and I emphasise the word third. They're on to the third engineer now, so I'm not too sure where the other two disappeared to. Maybe into one of their holes they forgot to fill in. He's popped in once a week, and it's a friendly chat. It's not as the member from council who says he's in full contact with me. No. He's only popped in about 3 times and basically say what they're doing. And he's quite a nice guy and he talks fairly, and I've got no qualms with that. As the councilman has said, I'm happy with the consultation. Does it mean because I don't scream at him? Or should have I screamed at him to make the man in the paper say, oh, he's not happy?
And just going back, the actual, if you don't mind me asking, the actual takings in your shop, what sort of impact has that had?
It's been about 40%. It's hard to say because it's winter and school holidays, which are two very things, and also the times might be tough out there at the moment. Different people here and that. But yes, I'm back to where I was 18 years ago. As I've said many times in the paper that, fortunately, I've been in business long enough and I've got established, and I'll survive and come out the other end. If I'd been a new person or a young couple gone in and with all the proverbial mortgages, etc., no, they would be broke by now.
Oh man, we hope that there's an end soon in sight, though with winter on its way, it's hard to finish, I think.
Well, they've gone, as I said, they've gone into their problem now sealing. It was the wrong time of the year. The ground temperature must be up at a certain degree apparently, and the rain does have an effect. They can't seal in certain times. Well, now they've got a double whammy where they should have been finished. So this project here could theoretically go on for, well, the first section was supposed to be sealed. They announced it to be sealed for 7 weeks ago, and they ain't sealed it yet. So at the moment, we're just day by day.
Man, thanks very much for your comments, and we hope there's an end in sight for you. Nelson's sister city, Guangxi, is in Hubei province and has a population of 2.7 million, expected to grow to 5 million in 4 years' time. This week, a delegation of Chinese officials from Guangxi have come to our region to further cement the bond that it shares with Nelson. 6 officials are here to discuss plans for a mayoral delegation that will take place in September to coincide with China Week, when there will be an official re-signing of the Sister City Agreement between Nelson and Guangxi, commemorating this 20-year-old relationship. I caught up with the Publicity Department Director of Guangxi, Mr. Law, from the delegation through his interpreter, Mr. Xu, while they were visiting Founders Park. What are you looking forward to most in your time in Nelson?
你在纳尔逊的访问呢，就说，主要是想收获什么呢？期望什么？
黄市跟纳尔逊是友好城市，我们这次来主要是来考察、学习和交流。
Since Nelson and Huangshi are sister cities, so our main purpose this time is to exchange and exchange ideas and learn from you, learn from about your city, your people, your culture.
Thanks very much. And do you see more trade between the two sister cities in the near future?
他说：“你认为在未来黄石和纳尔逊之间的贸易会得到发展吗？”
我想一定会的，因为两个城市互补性很强。
Yes, I think so. Because we have many, we can develop exchange in many fields.
Well, that'd be great. Thank you. Are many people aware of the sister city relationship in Guangxi?
他说在黄石有多少人了解我们两市间的这个友好关系呢？
而我们已经呢友好城市绝对20年了，黄石有很多人都知道新西兰的纳尔逊市是一个美丽的城市。
Because there has been 20, this is the 20th anniversary of the sister-city relationship between Nelson and Huangshi. So there are many of our citizens in Huangshi we know Nelson is the sister city of Huangshi, and Nelson is a very beautiful city.
Thank you very much. I know Huangshi is a very big city, so it's hard to get the information out.
Because we have newspapers, TV stations, and radio.
Oh, well, great, thank you. Any advice on how Nelson can better cater for visitors from China to New Zealand, or from our sister cities to Nelson?
就是说，你对纳尔逊黄省人到纳尔逊做好接待工作，有什么建议吗？
那是各方面的条件都很好，酒店、交通、餐厅人更好，我们感到非常的舒适和满意。
We feel very comfortable when come here. Nelson is a wonderful city. You are in the hotels, well equipped, and you have convenient transportation, and the very kind people. Everything. We're very satisfied.
Oh, hey, thank you very, very much. It's nice speaking to you, and enjoy the rest of your time in our sunny city.
那个非常高兴你这么说。今天的天气很好，希望你们在在纳尔逊待得非常愉快。
谢谢，欢迎你们到黄市去采访。
Thank you, and we looking forward to your visit, your interview in our city someday in the future.
Me too, very much.
我也非常希望。
来，郑州。
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialists, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Tune in to Sunshine Radio, 87.8 and 107.5 FM.
The music hits so hard, can't touch this.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Nelson Diabetes Club will be meeting this month on Friday the 31st of July at 1:30 p.m. at Nick Smith Rooms on Waimea Road. The speaker is Linda Bergman of Power Talk International, Gold Coin Donation.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.